Alrighty guys, so you now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 squares complete. So what I'm going to do, we're going to start and we're going to do a thing called join as you go. Now take this all in stride, okay? If you struggle with this, please let me know, but it's not easy, but it's not completely difficult either. All right, so let's move everything out the way and grab the square we've been working on just for the sake of having, keeping in sync, yeah? And we're going to start by placing our new colour. There's our last tail, right? So our new colour should be right there. That's where we should place it. Remember, we are working on the wrong side of our work, so turn your work around. You now need to work on the right side of your work, okay? So really, you're placing your hook right there in the first corner you come to, right there. Now grab your thread, popping it through the loop or on the loop and pulling it through like normal. Remember that if you want to know if this is the right or wrong side, just look at the top of it now. Your little V looking things, they're facing that way. That's the wrong side for this, but it's the right side for us because we've done 1, 2, 3, 4 rounds. On our 5th round, it's going to be on the right side of your work, all right? That's how I remember it. So grab your tail, passing it forward just for 1 moment, yeah? Just to lock it into place. We're chaining 1, 2, and 3. Pop your stitch marker in there. And again, you're going to place your cluster set in there of 2 double crochets. So pop your hook back in the same space with 1 and 2. But then you are chaining 2, 1 and 2, and completing the corner. Just for this round here, well, this is the complete round anyway. You'll know what I mean at the end. All right, this is the last time you start your granny square. So popping it over there, your tail over there at the back, because that's now the back, yeah? This is the front of your work. So now we're going to jump into our next space with our 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, and I think I've knotted my thread. Let's have a look. Okay, no, not really. It looked like I knotted it. Felt like it, not looked like it. Jump into the next space. Now across this side you will have 3 spaces. All right. Jump into the next space with your 3 double crochets. Like so. And you've got your corner, 3 cluster sets. Jump into your next corner. Now being wary that the corner may look a bit odd, your stitch will be pulling a little bit. Make sure you are crocheting over your tail. So just do that. Pop your tail in front for a minute, doing your corner, your normal corner of 3, 2, 3. Yeah, crocheting over the tail for a minute, 2 and 3. Chain 1 and 2. Sorry about that. That's the stitch marker, guys. I'm trying to stop it from hitting the table. And another 3 double crochets, all in the same corner. As you would do any other round, I know this colour's a bit dark, guys. Might be a little hard for you to see, but we'll try later. Pop your tail at the back now. And you're going to weave that in at the back later, not now. We're going to do our next set all the way across. So set 1, set 2. All right. So what I'm going to do is just keep going. And I'm going to crochet fast. I'm not going to put it on fast. I'm just going to crochet fast, and you can pause the video if you want. And we're going to try and get to the very next corner, which is literally right now. I'm in my last space there, to the before the next corner, that is. All right, so that's the first corner. Your next corner, you are just doing like normal with your normal 3, 2, 3. 1 and 2 and 3. Like so. All right. I'm not going to let you head off. I'm going to let you watch me. I'm just going to do this corner. We're going to get to this corner, but we're not going to complete it. All right. I'm just going to go really fast. I'm not going to put the video on fast. I'm just going to go fast with my 3 double crochets, and I'll meet you when we get to the corner. It looks like I'm on fast motion, doesn't it? No, not really. I just wanted to show you what to do when you get to this corner. Yeah. All right, so you keep going, and once you get to the corner, we will start working. And what we'll do is we will work on adding our squares about now. All right, so what we're going to do is grab your scarf. If you want it to look similar to your scarf, grab it. All right, so here is my scarf. So hello, let's bring it out. It's really big, the scarf, so it's hard to keep on the table. So there's my blue. My next colour will be the pink. You don't have to do this. This is just me being pedantic. Yeah. And the next colour is white. And your next colour is green. And the next colour is the pink, the unusual colour pink, or watermelon if you will, and then it goes back to blue, which is exactly what will happen now. So what I'm going to do is pop them on top of each other so I know which one to use next, which will be the pink. All right. So get your colour ready for you, because you're going to join it right now. You're going to join one colour right now once we get into this corner. Let's move that out the way first. It'll go all blurry otherwise. And I'm going to bring this up nice and close so you can see this part. Jump into your corner and do your first part of the corner with your 3 double crochets. Chain 1 only. You don't do this too tight, okay? Leave it nice and loose. Don't do it really loose, but kind of leave it a nice one. You want to keep your tails all at the same way. So I'm going to keep my tail up that way. All right. So remember how I didn't put my, there we go. Excuse me, Mary, get it the right way. See, my tails are on the same side. So we're here. So what we want to do is jump into, make sure you're on the right side of your work, jump into your first corner with a double crochet. That first stitch is a little bit awkward, like that. Now, this is where it's what we call a join as you go. Lift up your thread. I think it's a little dark, this yarn. Sorry, guys. Pop your hook in your first stitch, ignoring that chain in there. Pop the loop on the hook and pull your loop through like so. Yeah, double crochet into your corner again. Pull up the loop, hold it there, grab the other stitch on the other side, pop the loop back on the hook, give it a tug and pull it through like so. Double crochet your third double crochet. Pull up your loop, jump into your very last stitch here, pop the loop back on, tighten it up a little and pull it through. Now you're going to jump over here. You've done 3 double crochets. You're going to jump into the very next space. Don't leave this too loose. Jump in the space and do your double crochet. Pull up your loop. Opposite side, and it's actually the diagonal, the opposite stitch to what you're working on. Stitch 1 on this side, 1 on that. 2, 2, 3, 3. That's what I mean, yeah? Whoop, lift it up. Go into your first stitch, and that's 2 loops on top. Pop the loop back on and pull your loop through and do a double crochet. Pop up your loop. This is pretty much it. This is all you're doing along this side of your piece. And I'll show you what it looks like in a moment. It kind of looks like that. And you've got like a line there, all right? Which is okay. It's the way it's supposed to be, yeah? So you're lifting up your loop and you're popping it in your third side, if I can get that loop in. Let's try that again, like so. And then make sure this is tighter when you jump over your cluster set into your next with your 3, but 1 up, and slip stitch. Second one in, 1 up, and slip stitch. Third one in, 1 up, slip stitch into your third stitch of that cluster set. Now you're going to do your last cluster set before the corner. 1. Whoops, I nearly went on. Don't forget to slip stitch, Mary. And in that first one, 2, and slip stitch into the second one, and 3, and slip stitch into your third one. And now we're going to go into the corner. A little tricky because we have our tail, but we can work around it. Remember, make sure you jump into the corner and don't get confused with that little space there. So you're jumping over that, jump into the corner with your 1 double crochet, and we are still crocheting over the tail. If that confuses you, just pop the tail at the back and we can sort that out later. Yeah. Slip stitch into your first, 2, oops, and I pulled the pink thread then, so 2, okay, and grab that. I'm going to stay in frame. I keep coming out of frame, sorry guys. Pull your loop through like so, and do your last double crochet for that corner. Pull up the loop. You are still going to pull your loop through that third and final stitch there. Then you chain 1, lift up your loop, go into the corner, pop your loop back in, pull it through the corner, chain 1. Don't make that chain too tight, yeah. Pop over your whole set and jump into the corner and complete that corner. So like that. 1, 2, and 3. Pop your pink tail at the back. And what you have done is that. By joining your beanie like this, or your squares like this to make your beanie, you are making it matching your scarf. Now, if you don't have a scarf or you didn't make the scarf with us, that's okay. But at least if you did, your scarf and your beanie will be a matching join. All right. So in the meantime, what you need to do, very, very simple, this part. And I'm going to go really fast. We're going to crochet right across here, get into the corner, do the corner, and get right down here. Two and 3. All right, so you are here. Move all that out the way. You are right here. Remember before we did this way, we went all the way around and then we went here and then we chained 1 and then we did our slip stitching across. That's exactly what we're going to do now with the very next colour, which I believe is the white. Okay, so get your white ready the way you need it. The right side facing, remember, grab your tail just to keep it in sync with our piece. All right, so grab your hook. Now we'll keep it like that there, because we're going to start there. You need to chain one first. Let's bring this up a little. Chain one first. Don't make that too tight. Yarn over your hook, grab your square and pop your double crochet in your first double crochet in the square. Lift it up. Ignore your chain, go into your first double crochet and pop the loop back on, pulling it through. Trickiest part is there, and then we can do the second one. Once we get the third one done, it will be organized for us. So pull that through like so. Simple, simple. Well, when I say simple, it's simple for the more experienced crocheter. If you are new to crochet, it might be a little bit tricky, but you can do it. Pop the loop on, tighten it up a little, and then just pull it through the loop. Yeah. And now we're jumping into the second space and doing the same thing. Lift it up and pop it through. And again, in the next one, in the same one, but the next stitch, this is your second stitch and your third. Lift it up and jump into your third stitch. Yeah, we'll do this until we get to the corner, and then you are going to head off on your own and do the rest yourself. Yeah, because otherwise you'll be here forever watching me. It'll take like hours and hours. Pop it through. 3 and 3 and 1, opposite the 1, 2, opposite the 2, and 3, opposite the 3, and now we're jumping into the corner. And remember, the corner has your tail. I would crochet over that tail, pull it up, jump into your first stitch and pull it through like so. Yeah. Second double crochet in the corner, pull up your loop, slip stitch into the second stitch on the opposite side, third double crochet in the corner, pull up a loop, jump into that third stitch from the opposite side. Yeah, and now what you're going to do, like you did before, chain one, lift up the loop, you're going into the actual space, the corner space, pop your loop through that space, chain one, don't do it so tight, jump into your corner and complete the corner. 2 and 3, like that. All right, and just pop your little tail at the back. We're going to weave that in later, but in the meantime, hop into your little spaces doing your 3 double crochets. All right, so going to pop this one. Actually, I'm going to pop this on fast. I need you to get down to this section right here. So I'm going to pop it on fast, and I'll meet you there in just a moment. Two and 3 in the corner, chain 1, just pull up a loop for a moment. All right, I'm pretty sure you know what you're doing. What you're going to do next is add the next 2 squares, but I really only want you to add 1 more square. You're going to do that off air on your own. All right, I want you to pop that there like so, to do exactly the same as we did here. Just keep going in the round, whichever that may be. Go in the round, get to this part here. before you attach this one, wait for me there. Because with this one here, we're going to attach it, but we're going to attach the other side to this side, all right? So it's going to form a ring, all right? So in the meantime, I just want you to head off on your own. Repeat what you saw here to here for this one here. There's the time you can go to if you're not sure of how to do it. Just repeat that right there. Meet me back here once you're done, and we'll talk about what we're going to do next. Alrighty guys, so here we are at the end of this round. Round, if you will. It's kind of like a round, isn't it, really? We want to start our very next piece. Now, what we're going to do with this piece, we're going to start it. We're going to get to this corner, and before we do anything else, we're going to go over to that corner there. All right? But in the meantime, just start it with me. Hop into your corner with your normal, make sure you've chained your one, yeah? With your normal double crochet, slip stitch to join in your first stitch, and then your second, slip stitch to join in your second, and then your third, slip stitch to join in your third. All right. I'm going to pop this on fast. I want you to do all of that and get to the second last space and wait for me there. All right, so off we go. All right, so we are at our corner. This is our 3 double crochets now on the corner, like so. All right, so what you have is that you have your pieces all the way across. Just fold it like so. Your right sides are still facing you. Yep. Just move it over a little bit like that and bring it up. Now I want you to chain 1, pull up a loop. Fold your work in so you can see what you're doing. Go over to this corner, yeah? Grab your loop, pop it on there and pull it through. So what you're going to do is literally pull the loop through the corner, chain 1, double crochet back into that space, pull up your loop, yeah. Now being careful, making sure you're not missing your first double crochet right there. Pull your loop through, and let me bring this up a little bit because I think it's a little bit dark. That's better. Do a second double crochet, pull up your loop, go into your second stitch, do your third double crochet in that corner, go into your third stitch. Now this can look a little awkward only because we're trying to close up this area right here. So it can look a little bit awkward, but you can do it, trust me. You can do it. I have faith in you. Okay, so double crochet into your next space. Yeah, pull up your loop. find your very first stitch on this side and pull it through. Second double crochet, and second on the opposite side, third double crochet, third on the opposite side, and so on. I'm going to pop this on fast for you, and off we go. All right, I'm into my last corner now, and I'm doing the very first cluster set of that last corner. And I'm calling it the last corner because we're going to close up the round in a minute. There you go. Second one. And third. Pull up your loop. And that's where you have, looks really tight line right there, doesn't it? There. Chain one. Don't forget, you still need to go into this corner. Pull the loop through like so. Chain one. And then you're jumping over to your pink with your 3 double crochets. This row right here is an absolute easy row. Jump over to your spaces, all of them, and doing your clusters across. It's a little tricky around the center, but we'll work on that in a minute. Not completely, not really. It seems tricky, but it's actually not. Okay. Into the next space with 3 double crochets, 2 and 3. Into your corner. All right. So we've done that, closed it up. We've closed up that whole section there. We're going straight into the corner right there. 2 and 3. Then we are chaining one like normal. Let's get a real close up here. All right, now you have a choice here. You can either just jump into the space with a slip stitch, yeah, which I don't like to do. But you can do that. Or you can do what I'm doing, find the chain stitch in the center, pop your hook in without splitting it. So that's the only problem with this version, is it can be awkward. Pull the loop through, 2 loops on top and 1 little loop down there, and you pull the loop through, chain 1, jump into your green. All right, so it's a little tricky. This one is a little tricky. All right, but that's pretty much, oh, hello, we're not in frame. There you go. That's pretty much the round for this one. All right, so, alrighty guys, don't adjust your screen. This is a different project, I know. I'd actually put the project down to show you what to do next, and for some reason the footage cut off there, so I don't know what happened. But this is a project that we are actually currently working on that has a very similar edge. So I'll show you how to do it with this one. Now, if you wanted to make this one, this is our annual project called the Sunshine Delight Jacket, and you get 1 or 2 installments a month of this particular jacket, and by Christmas of this year you will have a gorgeous jacket for your own to wear. So what I'm going to do is pretty much show you what you need to do next. You actually need to do your 3 cluster sets across for your next corner, or until you get to your next corner, and I'm going to rush through this. I'm so sorry that the recording failed, but this is exactly the same in sets across. It's not, I actually moved one over, but I made it the same. So we're on our 3rd set here. All right. And what you need to do, just ignore what this looks like here because it's a different project, but you need to jump into your corner space. And let's bring this up. It's a little bit dark there. Jump into the corner space with your cluster set of 3 double crochets. Chain 1. Once again, you can slip stitch into the space, like that, or you can do what I'm doing. Don't split the yarn, but slip stitch into the chain stitch, which will be fairly tight. Pull a loop through, pull it through to the loop on your hook. Again, just note that this is a different project, so it looks different. Chain one, jump over that half cluster that you created from your previous rounds, and just pop your cluster set of 3 double crochets in the space right there. And then you're jumping over into your very next space with your cluster set. And I think I split it there, but I'm not worried because I'm going to take this undone because this is not what this project needed to do. All right, but there you go. That's pretty much what you need to do. You do your 3 cluster sets across, then you do your corner where you've done your 3 double crochets, chain 1, slip stitch, chain 1, corner. 3 sets, jump into your corner. You do 3 double crochets, chain 1, slip stitch, chain 1, 3 double crochets, and you continue in the round. So my apologies for the deleting of that particular section, but it was a very small section, as you saw, just to show you how to do that section again. All right, head off on your own, do the whole round, get to your very last stitch, wherever that was, and just assume the stitch marker's here, right? Get to your stitch marker and probably the last set before your stitch marker. Meet me there and we'll talk about what we're going to do next. Alrighty guys, so here I am at the end of my round, okay, and what I have here is a space for my 3 double crochets before the corner. Oops, I smoothed that stitch out the way. 2 and 3. Now we don't need to worry about the corner here because it's already complete. So you are going to slip stitch into the stitch with your stitch marker, pull a loop through, remove that stitch marker right there. And what I want you to do here is chain 1, 2 and 3, replace the stitch marker right there, like so. Yeah, and you are going to place 2 double crochets in the same space that you are in. So right over your chain, you're going to place 3 double crochets. I'm sorry, 2 double crochets, 1 and 2. Yeah. Then you're going to jump into this corner here. And what I want you to do here is a double crochet 1 and a double crochet 2 together and a double crochet 1 all in one spot. So it's like this. Put 1 double crochet in the corner. And now we're going to double crochet this corner and that corner together. All right, so you pop your hook in the space, pull a loop through 3 loops, yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over your hook, jump into the very next space, pop your hook in, pull a loop through, yarn over your hook, pull through 2. You should have 3 loops left. Yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. So when you look at the top, that's your stitch of the one below, and that's 1 stitch on top of the 2 that we did together. Then you're going to pop a normal double crochet in that space. So in other words, what you've done is closed this up and made it look like 3 double crochets on the top, but not so much there. All right, that's what you're going to do whenever you come to a seam line there. All right, jump into your next space doing your 3 double crochets. Get excited guys, because you closed up your piece. That's the exciting part. It's done. That's the hard part of the whole beanie. The rest is super easy. You're going to love the rest. Yeah, so double crochet in every set, or every set in every space. Come on Mary, you can do this. 2 3 in the next space, 1 2 3. I'm going to show you one more, and then you are going to head off on your own and complete the rest of this round. All right, so in that space you're putting a double crochet, just 1 for now, and then we're double crocheting 2 together over this seam line. So hook in your space, pull a loop through, 3 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over your hook, skip over the seam line, jump into the next corner space, pull a loop through, 4 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, 3 loops left, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops on your hook, yarn over your hook and do a normal double crochet in the same space that you are in, and there's your set together. All right, jump into your next space with your normal cluster set. Super duper easy. Yeah. All right, so let's bring that down. I would like for you to do exactly that. You're going to put clusters in every space. You're going to do your 2 together here with your full cluster set. If you think about 1 cluster set between 2 corners, yeah, then you're going to do cluster, 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 1 cluster set between 2 corners, cluster, cluster, cluster. You're going to do that all the way over. Get to this set right here. Meet me there and we will talk about what we're going to do next. Alrighty guys, here we are at the end of this round, and let's get a nice close-up for you. And I finished my last cluster set there, so what we need to do here is slip stitch to join. Pull a loop through and pull it through to the loop on your hook. Remove your stitch marker for a moment. Chain 1, 2 and 3. Pop your stitch marker back in there. And again, you're going to place your cluster set in there of 2 double crochets. So pop your hook back in the same space with 1 and 2. You're crocheting pretty much almost over your chains there. Yeah, it's kind of almost over. And then, this is an easy round, guys. You are going to do double crochets or cluster sets, if you will, in every space you come to. All right, and when you come to this section where you've got your 2 together, yeah, all you do, jump over it like normal, jump into the very next space like normal, doing your cluster set of 3 double crochets, and away you go. All right, super easy. This is an easy round and the next round is an easy round, yeah? All right, so what I want you to do is just that. I'm going to let you do this off air. Put a set there. Set, set. That's your join together. You don't have to worry about it. Yeah. Jump over and put a set. Set, 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 set. Jump over. Set, 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 set. You're actually ignoring it completely and just placing your cluster sets in every space all the way across. All right. So go ahead and do that round. Meet me back here in a moment and we'll talk about what we're going to do next. Alrighty guys, so here we are at the end of this round. What I want you to do first is that stitch marker that you've got in your blue square, remove it. Now, know where you've got your other stitch marker is actually in the cluster before the corner. So just turn your work around. That's your blue square, that's your corner, and that's your cluster before the corner. It actually works out to be there. So pop your, actually, you know what? Pop it on the front of, oh, I should get another stitch marker. It's so bad, these ones. So there you go. Just pop it there for now. It's a rough area and I'll explain it to you later where to pop it. But for now, just leave it there. And what I want you to do is to remove all other stitch markers now. You don't need them there anymore. This is the right side. We've marked the right side with this one. Yep. So remove all other stitch markers. And then we're going to have 2 instructions. The first instruction is, let's just slip stitch to join first. So you slip stitch to join there like that. Pull a loop through like so. Remove your stitch marker. Chain 1, 2, 3. Oh, and replace it. Yep. And double crochet your 2 in the same space like you've been doing all along. Oh, that didn't work. Let's try that again. Double crochet your 2 in the same space like you've been doing all along. 1 and 2. That will change soon, but just leave it there for now. Now, before you continue, that round that we just did, you're going to repeat. However, what I want you to do whilst you're repeating it, or before you're repeating it, before you return, I want you to weave in all your ends as well. All right, so weave your ends in on the inside of your beanie. This is the right side, that's the wrong side. So weave your ends in on the wrong side of your beanie. You know how to do that. We've been doing it all along for this piece. And what I want you to do now is to repeat the round that we just did. A cluster in every space all the way across. Get right back here for me. Meet me here in a moment and we'll talk about what we're going to do next. Alrighty guys, so here we are at the end of this round. Now this is a round where we're going to start closing up our beanie. So there'll be quite a few decreases, which is pretty much what you did here before with your double crocheting 2 together. But for now, let's just join our, I've split that thread right there. Slip stitch your stitch together, not in a split stitch like mine. Chain 1, 2 and 3, pop your stitch marker there, like so. And what we're going to do is continue to put your cluster set here of 2 double crochets. 1 and 2. Oh, splitting the yarn. And then in the next space, for these 2 spaces, you're going to do 2 together. But what you're going to do is start with a normal double crochet in the first space, like that. And here, you're going to do double crochet 1 and 2 together. So yarn over your hook in the same space you're in, pull up a loop, 3 loops, yarn over, pull through both those loops. Hold it there. Yarn over your hook, jump over your 3 double crochets, pop your hook in the very next space, pull a loop through, 4 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, 3 loops left, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops on your hook. You've closed up that cluster. Then you're going to put another double crochet in there, just a normal one, like that. So if you were to look at it on top, that would be your 1, 2, 3 stitches from this cluster, that one there. And then you have 1, 2, 3 stitches from those 2 clusters. All right, so you've closed up a space. You've lost one of the spaces, which is what we want to do, yeah? Now we're doing cluster sets in the next 1, 2, and 3 across. All right, so normal cluster of 3 double crochets in your first space. Normal set in your second space. And a normal set in your third space. All right, so that double crochet 2 together that we did there, we're going to do it between the 4th and the 5th space. So we're saying on the 4th space, we're doing our double crochet 2 together, if that helps. All right, you do 1 double crochet in that first space, do your second one, but your second one is going to have half there and half over the next space. All right, so yarn over your hook, start your double crochet, hold it there, yarn over your hook, and complete it on this space. Jump into this space, pull a loop through, 1, 2, 3, 4, yarn over, pull through the first 2, 3 loops left, yarn over, pull through the last 3 loops, do 1 more double crochet in the space. And that is your 1, 2, and 3, even though it looks like there's about 4 there, okay? The stitches you're looking at are the V's you see up the top. That's 3 V's up the top, yeah? Then, once again, you're going to do that. That's the pattern. 1, 2, 3, double crochet 2 together in the 4th and the 5th. 1, 2, 3, double crochet 2 together in the 4th and the 5th. So you do 1 set, 1, 2, and 3. Do your second set, 1, 2, and 3. Do your third set, 1, 2, and 3. And on your fourth and your fifth, you're doing that set with the double crochet 2 together in the middle. So double crochet 1, and now you're doing your 2 together into the space, yarn over, pull through 2, hold it there, yarn over into the very next space, yarn over, pull through 4 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, 3 loops, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops, do 1 more double crochet in that space, and oops, I split that yarn really well, didn't I? And there you go. All right, so I don't think I need to show you anymore. What I would like for you to do, and if you're unsure of this, I will leave a little time up there in a minute, but what I would like for you to do is to repeat this all the way through to the stitch marker. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5 together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 together. 1, 2, and this will be your third one, and that's your 4, 5 together. So don't worry about that. Just do your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 together, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 together. Get to the last cluster right here, and I will meet you there once you're done. Alrighty guys, so here we are at the end of this round here, and what you would have come up with was, at the end you would have had 2 together here, and then you would have had 1, 2. Your third one would be the first one that we did, and there's your 2 together in the next set. All right, so it all adds up. I just started it differently to show you how to do the join 2 together. It didn't matter how we started, as long as we all ended up with the same amount at the end. If you didn't, check your spaces and make sure you haven't missed any, or make sure you haven't added any. Yeah. So we're slip stitching to join into the stitch with your stitch marker. Remove your stitch marker. Chain 1, 2, and 3 again. Once again, replace that stitch marker. In the same space, you're doing your 2 double crochets. That will change, guys, but for now, we're just going to continue to do that. So you've got your first set there. That's it. This is an easy round. Again, set, 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 all the way across. So what we're going to do is jump over that cluster set, go into the space before your 2 together set with your normal 3 double crochets. Jump over your big set there, go into the next space with 3 double crochets. That is pretty much it. All you're doing is going into every space you see. If you can't find them, give it a bit of a stretch and you'll see it. Okay. I'm rushing it because I want to get to that join again so I can show you what to do, and then you're going to head off on your own and do the rest. So jump into your next space. And there's your join the 2 together space, right? You jump into the big space before it. Well, don't split the yarn. 2, 3. Jump right over your big set into the very next space with your 3 double crochets. All right, it's super duper easy. Whoops, no, it's not. When you lose your stitch like that, it's not. I'm rushing, that's why, guys. And when you rush, you make mistakes. All right, don't make mistakes, guys. Don't make mistakes. Now, what I want you to do, a set in every space you see, like that. When you come to your big cluster set there, jump over it, go into the space, 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 big set, jump into the space, go all the way through clusters in every space. Meet me at that stitch marker right there in a moment, and we'll talk about what we're going to do next. Alrighty guys, so here we are at the end of this round, and you'll start to see that curving. That is absolutely normal, yeah? So now what you're going to do is slip stitch to join. Pop your hook. You know how to do this part. I don't need to tell you. You know how to do this. You've been doing this all along. Chain 1, 2 and 3. I'm keeping it distant because you've been doing this all along. This is the easy part. You know this bit, yeah? All right, so from here, we're going to do our 2 double crochets in there. 1 and 2. And we're going to do another decrease round. So we've done our first set. These next 2 spaces are going to be a decrease, yeah? Now, if you can't remember how we do it, we do the double crochet in the space first, like normal. Then we double crochet 2 together across this cluster. So start your double crochet, hold it there, yarn over your hook, jump over your cluster set, pull a loop through, 4 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, 3 loops, yarn over, pull through all 3. Then you're doing another double crochet in the same spot. And now when we come across, we're going to come across 1, 2 clusters, join 2 together. 1, 2, join 2 together on the third sets, yeah? So let's do a cluster 1 in the next one. A second cluster in your next one. And that's a cluster of 3 double crochets, yeah? And then on the third and fourth, you're doing your 2 together. Place 1 double crochet in the first space, and then you do your double crochet, hold it there, jump over your 3 double crochets with your half set, yeah, and then pull through like normal, yep. And then you do a double crochet. You know how to do this. You've done it in the previous round, or the one before it actually. So what you need to do though is 1, 2 clusters, 2 together. 1, 2 clusters, 2 together. 1, 2 clusters, 2 together, and then you'll end up with 1 cluster because that is your second one. All right. So continue in that manner, doing 1, 2 clusters, 2 together on the 3 and the 4th. If you're not sure again, there's the time again. Meet me back here once you're done, and we'll talk about what we're going to do next. Alrighty guys, here we are again. So what you should have done was 1, 2 together, 1, 2, 2 together, 1, 2, 2 together, 1, 2, 2 together, 1, 2, 2 together, 1, and this one here will be your second one, and then you've got your 2 together there. All right, so let's slip stitch to join, and you've been doing this all along, so we don't have to do a close-up of this one. Slip stitch to join, chain 1, 2 and 3, stitch marker again, 2 double crochets in the same space, and 2. Oh no, this is a simple round, guys. You're going to place a cluster set in every space across. Simple, simple round, all right? Jumping over your join and go into the next space, placing a cluster of 3 double crochets. Rush, rush, rush. I'm rushing for 2 reasons. 1, I'm rushing because we're getting close to the end, and also because we have builders outside making way too much noise. I'm trying to beat them. So cluster sets into every space all the way across. Get to this last space, meet me there, and we'll talk about what we're going to do next. Alrighty guys, so here we are at the end of this round. We have a couple of rounds to go, or maybe 3, I can't remember. She can't remember, guys. No, she knows. All right, so now we're going to slip stitch. Don't you love it? She's talking to herself. Slip stitch into the stitch with a stitch marker. Remove your stitch marker. chain 1, 2 and 3, and this is where your area changes a little bit. Normally we put 2 double crochets in here. We're not going to. We're going to do a 2 together right here. So we're going to start your 2 together in the same space that you are in, pull a loop through, 3 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over your hook into the next space and complete your 2 together, and then place a double crochet in the same space you're in. And in the next space you do a normal set of 3 double crochets. But in the very next space and the next one, you're doing your 2 together. So 1 in there. Now start your 2 together, yarn over your hook, finish your 2 together, and then place another double crochet in that same space. And then you do your cluster set. So here is very simple. Cluster 1, 2 together, 1, 2 together, 1, 2 together, 1, and we've got our 2 together right here. Complete that round, meet me back here and get excited, and we'll talk about what we're going to do next. Here we are again, guys. At the end of this round you had a little tied up here, 2 together for the first stitch, 1, 2 together, 1, 2 together, 1, 2 together, 1, 2 together, and 1 on your last set. And then you're going to, let's show you this part here, because this part here might be a little tricky. Looks like it's not going to work, but it does. You're going to slip stitch into that tight stitch right there. Remove your stitch marker. And chain 1, 2 and 3, replace it. And this is an easy round, guys. 2 double crochets in the same space. And a set into every space. Now this is just that repeat round that you've been doing in every second round. All right, so continue along the way. Clusters in every space. Meet me at that stitch marker right there in a moment, and we'll talk about what we're going to do next. Alrighty guys, so here we are at the end of this round, all right? And we just did a normal granny cluster set round. Now here's where things will change completely, and we're doing our next 2 rounds, and they're called the finishing rounds. So slip stitch to join like so. I love these 2 rounds because then you know it's done up the top and we have to work down the base later. So chain 1, 2, 3, a little bit of trivia there, yeah? Place your stitch marker there. And here you're going to do your 2 together like you did before. Let's just see if I can get a little bit closer, yeah? 2 together like you did before, jump into the space, start it, jump over to the other space and complete it. Then you do a double crochet in there. And now you're doing that all the way around. You are joining 2 together on the next space. So you start your double crochet with 1 there, and then you're doing your 2 together, 1 and 2 together. Double crochet in the same space. Always need to adjust your beanie now because these spaces are smaller, so you have to keep turning your beanie around. So you jump into your next space with a double crochet, and now we're doing our join together. Start it, yarn over, complete it, and then double crochet in the same space. The same thing here. Jump in and do 1 double crochet. And now we're doing our join 2 together. start it, jump into the next space and complete it. Double crochet in the same space. What are you doing here? Same thing. So it's exactly the same all the way through this round. Start your join 2 together, complete your join 2 together, and a double crochet in the same space. Now all you're doing is slip stitching to join. Ooh, in that tight stitch right there. So remove that stitch marker, make sure you close that up really well. And here all you're doing is chaining 1, 2, and don't put the stitch marker in there. I want you to do a double crochet only into the stitch, and that's the stitch you see right there. So you do a normal double crochet in that stitch and place your stitch marker in that double crochet. It's classified as doing 2 together, making the chain 2 and a double crochet. So what you're going to do here, very, very simple. You're going to do just that. Every stitch you come to, you're going to do a double crochet 2 together. So into the stitch now, not in spaces. Pull a loop through, yarn over, pull through 2. Hold it there, yarn over your hook, into the next stitch. Pull a loop through, 4 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, 3 loops, yarn over, pull through the last 3. And you're doing exactly that all the way across, making sure you're not going into the same stitch as you're already in. Make sure you're going directly into the next stitch to do your 2 together. And then the next. Complete it. Just making sure you don't go in the same stitch. 2 together. Into the next one, complete it. Nearly there. Got these 2 here. 2 together. Complete it. And in your next one, 2 together, like so. Complete it. And here you should have 1 and 2 together. If I can get my things in, I can move it around. Start it. 2 together. Complete it. All right, and here, which is real tricky to see, pull that out. You should end up with either 2 together or 1. So I'm just going to place a double crochet in that stitch, slip stitch to join. If you've got 2 together, do 2 together. It doesn't matter at this point in time because this is the end. You're going to pull up your loop. You're going to remove your stitch marker. And, I forgot to cut it. Hello. Excuse me, Mary. Come on, you know what you're doing here. Give it a cut. Make sure it's a long tail because you're going to use this tail to close up this tiny, tiny little space you've got here. So you grab your sewing needle, weaving, darning needle, whatever you want to call it, thread it. That's the end of the top part of your beanie. We still need to do a few rounds down here. So what you're going to do here is you're going to go into, you can do it either way. You can go this way. I think I'll go this way. You go into your first, and you can see them, your first stitch and out through the stitch and pull it through. Yeah. Turn your beanie around, jump over that stitch and go into the next. Like you're going in to the inside of the beanie and then you're coming out around the stitch. Yeah. And that's pretty much all you're doing in the round. Jump over the stitch and into your next stitch like that. It's almost like you're weaving through. We're nearly there. That's the knot. We're jumping over that one and we're weaving through here, which I think we are pretty much there. So what you want to do here is, before you go closing it up, I want you to pop your needle, that's where we started, in that hole, but making it go straight through yeah, and turning your beanie inside and pulling that loop inside like that. So what we're going to do here now, tighten it all up, we are going to weave this end in. Now I'm just going to change my needle because this is a really thick needle and I need a thinner needle to weave in ends because the yarn is an 8-ply DK weight, okay? And that was more for a chunky yarn, that hook, that needle, sorry. So you just find some stitching wherever you can. And you are now officially going to pop your needle through and weave it in. This will close up your beanie. And there's no right way of doing this, just, make sure the stitching is all close though. Make sure you're not coming down here somewhere, yeah? It's all got to be very close to the top. Going in. Anywhere you like. Through the top. Do it about 3 or 4 times, maybe 5 even. You don't want that coming undone. That's the top of your head. It shouldn't come undone because look how many times I'm doing this. Oh, I'm doing it a lot. All right, so it's kind of round, but not really. It's round and not round. It doesn't really matter. It will not be noticed. All right, I think I'm done. I don't know. I think I did it 7 times. I can't remember. It doesn't matter. Really, 3 or 4 would have been fine, but so 7's fine too. And turn it back in the right way. Don't forget to do that, yeah? So that's the top part of your beanie should look like that. Gorgeously flat, yeah? And then you should have like a little kind of like a bubbled look. That's normal, otherwise it wouldn't fit around your head. Flip your work. Remove that stitch marker. It shows us that that is the right side of our work. We were working on the right side here, and now we're working on the right side down the base. But what you want to do here is actually place your hook in the actual stitch. All right, we're not doing double crochets here. We are working on single crochet. That's single crochet US, double crochet UK. Pop your thread over your hook, pull it through, make sure you are in the stitch and not the space. Pass your tail forward just for a minute so we can lock it into place with a chain. Chain 1, that locks it into place. In that stitch, we are doing a single crochet. Single US, double UK, pop your hook in the same stitch you are in, pull a loop through, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through both those loops, place your stitch marker there. Now we're going to single crochet in every stitch you come to until we get to that seam line, right? Now I'm going to crochet over this tail just a little bit, not a lot. So I'm going to pop a single crochet in that stitch. So there's the stitch, pop your hook in. I'm just going to place the tail on top so that I can crochet my single crochet, 2 loops on top over it, yeah? And again, in the very next space or stitch, if you will, sorry, and do your single crochet. You don't have to crochet over your tail. I'm going to do that. I'm also going to weave it in as well. So single crochet, I'm going to pop it at the back now. 3 is enough, 4 is enough. Single crochet in every stitch. And if you want to see the stitches, we're right there. That's the stitch with your V on top. And there's another stitch there and there. All the way across until you get to your seam line, which is right here. All right, I've done my single crochet in my last stitch here, but we have these spaces. What we're going to do here is not just do a single crochet in there. We're going to single crochet the 2 together. All right, this will tighten up your beanie a little bit. After this round, put it on your head. If it is way too tight, then just put a single crochet in there and a single crochet in there. But for the rest of us, hook in, pull a loop through, 2 loops on your hook, jump into the next one, pull a loop through, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. Jump into that stitch. If you move your single crochet over, you can see the stitch right there. Doing a single crochet, single and single. All right, super easy, don't split the yarn. Single all the way across, all the way, all the way, all the way, until you get to your next seam line. Almost there. Sorry, I went quiet there, guys. Lucky the builders weren't making too much noise. All right, so here we are right near the seam line. You can pop your hook in the space, pull a loop through, 2 loops, jump into the next space, pull a loop through, 3 loops, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. Again, if your beanie is too tight, once you try this on a bit later, undo it and then do 1 in there and 1 in there. All right, move it over. Don't forget there is a stitch right here doing your single crochets across. So really, if you have to think about it, you are doing 3 single, 3, 3, 3, 3, a single 2 together in the corner, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, a single 2 together in the corner, and so on. All right, so guess what, you're going to do that by yourself because you are an expert now. Continue that round. If you're not, there's a time you can go back to help you out with that join 2 together. And meet us back here once you're done, and we'll talk about what we're going to do next. Alrighty guys, here we are at the end of the round. Now I stopped a little bit earlier because I wanted to show you this corner and make sure you got that correct. To do this corner, it's like normal, you're joining 2. But just remember, you actually have a stitch here, which is 1. Then you have a second one. And then you have your third one. And your fourth one is not a fourth one. That's where your single crochet is in there. That's your first for this section here. So all you're doing is slip stitching to join. All right, basic, chain 1, single in the same stitch. Oops. And you're going to do what we call a basic single crochet round. No joining together, nothing. Just single, single, single. I want to get to that corner. I want to get to that to join 2 together so you can see what to do there. Oh, you don't have to do anything really. This is what you need to do when you get there. You'll get excited when you see it because it's so basic. Yeah. So we'll go all the way up to the end of the blue. And then you're going to head off and do this yourself. When you get here, you'll notice that your V's on top, those are the stitches that we are going into, right? So when you get here, you've got a V right here, your normal one. And when you did your 2 together, you closed it up to make 1 V right there. And you'll notice that V is a tiny, tiny little bit bigger than the rest. That's your 2 together. But you're just doing a single crochet in every V looking stitch you see, all the way across. There is no difference between this round and the ones that we were doing on our double crochet 2 together up the top. All right, the only difference is obviously there were spaces here, but here they're just little V's. So you are, and I'll show you a nice close up so you can see it again, going into each little V you see right there. There's your V and there's your 2 together, sorry. Or was it here? See, I can't even tell anymore because I'm so good at doing 2 together. That's it right there. All right, and over here, your 2 togethers around here. It doesn't matter. Just go into every V you see all the way across. That's all your stitches all the way across. Get to your stitch marker right there, and I will meet you there once you're done. Alrighty guys, here we are at the end of this round. It's very exciting now. Very, very exciting. I do have one more single crochet to go there. And that is the slip stitch. So I'm not going to go into that. So just be wary not to put too many in or not enough in or whatever. Either way, vice versa, it works both ways. All right, so now you are chaining one and you're doing a single crochet in that stitch for my beanie the last time. What? And then what I want for you to do after you do this round is try your beanie on. All right, but in the meantime, we're going to do a single crochet. Oh, look at that. Look at that in every stitch all the way across. Excuse me, she's saying, excuse me. All right, single, don't you love it? Single crochet in every stitch all the way across. Meet me back here at the end of the round and get excited, guys. We're almost done. Alrighty guys, so here we are at the end of this, what I would like to call my final round. Now, if this, try it on. Try your beanie on first. If it's not long enough for your head, then do a couple of more rounds, all right? 1 round, 2 rounds, whatever suits you. But in the meantime, this is what I'm going to do. And let me try that again because I wanted to slow that down for you. So when you've done your rounds and you come back and meet me here, this is the time you can meet me back at. I'm going to do a single crochet. I'm going to start it and then just pull the loop through, but just pull up a loop. Yeah, we're going to join it the way where you can't see the join. Give it a cut, but if you still need to do a couple of more rounds, head off and do those. But for the rest of us, and what I want you to do is to use, I don't know, one of these thick flicky knives, I was going to say, needles, and that helps you get through the stitch. I'll probably end up changing it to my sewing needle once I get through, but this is what I want you to do. You are here. That's the stitch we started in. I want you to jump into the stitch just after it, but the back loop only. These are the 2 loops you see right here, right there. Back loop only right there, and pop your needle through the back loop. You can remove that stitch marker if you like, so you can pull your little tail through. Don't pull it through completely because you want to see what you're doing here. So I want you to grab your needle and go through the back loop of the stitch you came out of from the beginning. All right, back loop only, and pull it through like that. Give it a bit of a tug, and what it'll do is it will close up this area. A lot of people love this join. I'm not a grand lover of it because sometimes if you walk away, this happens. So what I do is, and you can see a little bit, but it's not as bad. I go through the back and the front of the stitch that we first put our needle in that way, and I pull it through like that. Then I go through that first stitch that we also started with and pull it through that way. That is me being pedantic. You can't tell that I've done that, and it's closed it up a little bit, so if someone was to pull it, it's not going to open up. But I'm going to tug it anyway. I will change the needle for this part, and we're going to weave the tail in at the back. Now I weaved in the other tail before I got back on, the one that was under here, the brown one, the grey one, not brown, this is grey, Mary, the grey that was under here. I've already weaved that in, but for this one here, and let me show you where you are, we are right here. Yeah. We want to go down into one of the stitches at the back, and I just find one of those at the back. Yeah, just be wary that you can't see the needle from the front, or you can there, but that's from that stitch there, from the space. All right, not the actual stitch. So pass your needle through like so. Check the front. All good. Yep. Then you literally just find some stitches at the back here to weave into. Yep. Any stitches you like. Whoops, make sure you check the front and make sure that didn't come through. I'm going to actually go down my stitching like that. I'm used to doing it, so I know that it's okay. But there you go. Check that you can't see the needle. You can go anywhere you want when you're weaving in ends. Really, there's no rules. The only thing is it's best to go one way and then turn and go another way, and that stops anything from coming undone. So I came down around here somewhere, or it might have been here, it doesn't matter. Just going to find some little loops here and go up this way. Going to make sure I can't see that needle from the front, because that went through a few thicknesses. Right there I can see the needle. So we're going to take it undone. Make sure you just cannot see this needle. Really, really important. Just going to go through that stitch there and then go up along these stitches. It's a little bit hard to see with the grey, I'm sorry, but these were the colours chosen by our lovely subscribers today, so I can't do much about that. Maybe next time we'll do it in lighter colours just for fun. Now, you don't have to do this extra one. I'm doing it for the sake of it. 2 or 3 would have been fine. I'm just pedantic. I'm really pedantic about my tails. Really, really pedantic. My regulars know that. Now, if you're not a regular, do join in on our fun when it comes to our lives, and you too can be a part of choosing the colour combination of our very next tutorial. This is our scarf that we created using the same colours. Get excited. There they are, right there. Turn it around. Oh, look, there we go. There they are. All right. So a special thank you to the lovely Anne McSee and Green Butterfly for their colour combinations for these two, matching, I should say, matching scarf and beanie. Matching scarf and beanie. Let's try it again. Matching granny square scarf and beanie. Yeah. All right. Thank you for watching us. Don't forget, guys, to like, subscribe and share. And once again, if you want to be a part of Live Antics, join us on Saturday mornings live at 10 a.m. Melbourne, Australia time. Marry that up with your country. And I will see everyone then. In the meantime, happy crocheting to you and ciao for now.